Run and kill. It's a new meta, and no other team does it better than Spirit. In Couner-Strike we have a different type of ways to play. A slow and steady playstyle like VP, or a tactical base style like FaZe. But Spirit throws all of that out of the window, with superstars like donk and shiro. And in the grand final, it was no different when they met NaVi, the current major champions of Couner-Strike 2. Today we are breaking down all the maps Spirit won. Yes, all of them. Spirit has gotten a great lead of 2-0 after winning the pistol round and the second round after. And this makes round 3 crucial for both teams. For NaVi it's the opportunity to not allow Spirit to win their bonus and build a bank and a lead, and a way for NaVi to get back into this game. Since if Spirit wins this bonus, they will have a massive lead in the economy game and almost able to secure a 4-0 start, a 1/6 of all the rounds in regulation. The buy is interesting from both teams, as we can see Spirit has the better utility, while NaVi has the better guns going into this round. NaVi starts in a 1-2-2 setup with 1 on A going donut, 2 in middle pushing down, and then 2 on A. The setup is mid heavy, with NaVi having one of the mid players pushing down here, while the A player will go into donut. And to make it all flow together, they use this smoke down bottom middle to hold any players off middle of Spirit, as well as Bit staying top middle to be the fast rotator, since this is a safer angle to rotate from. And on B, NaVi using a Molotov to stop any Ts from pushing Fortnite or Cave fast, as well as smoking Cave. And this smoke is odd, since in one hand it forces the T to not be able to go into Cave and take the fight towards LXCB. And that is a disadvantage for Spirit, who likes to abuse these openings from the enemy team. But this allows Spirit to go Fortnite unspotted, since this smoke is here and Bit is smoked, and Wonderful is not holding it. So this is a big opening Spirit can abuse. Spirit are going for a more focused setup with 1 bottom middle and 4 players towards B. This setup is to try just to brute force your way into sight, playing the man advantage and playing around the default CT setup on Ancient. Early on, Spirit are being stopped by NaVi's early Molotovs outside of A and the early bottom mid smoke. And Spirit is not helping themselves when they smoke the Molotov here, since this just makes it harder to push mid and Fortnite. Now that you don't have the bottom mid control that Chopper were supposed to get. This means NaVi can be anywhere in middle. But Spirit wants to abuse that they have the worst guns. And here they will use a flash and send one player through the smoke, and there is some logic to this play. Let's go over to the map. With Spirit taking so much control in such a fast and loud way, it has forced Wonderful to overextend towards middle, and this leaves A open for Chopper to lurk. As well as this forces LXCB to stay in cave so Spirit can't walk into it. And this will leave JL alone on site, who needs to hold for 3 Spirit players sneaking up towards him. And here at some point, JL is forced to peek ramp. And here donk, well, he does what he does best, and donks him.
Whether that's in a map or in a round, and speak of the devil.
Great opening, this open up B site for Spirit. And the retake before the plant is sad from NaVi in the start. Spirit uses this smoke towards long to allow Sontix to push elbow, and then he nades the smoke and finds one more kill. As well as LXDB render himself useless with this smoke right here. He cuts himself off the side take so he can try to 1v1 magics. But that just makes the retake impossible. He should have tried to either smoke ramp or keep the smoke and take in the fight, since from cave he has the advantage towards site, as long as magic does not push him. And NaVi is just picked apart. The Chopper lurk finds Wonderful, and LXCB focuses magics, and this allows donk and him to set up a 2-man push.
Wonderful starting to take a look over on A. He could just run into Chopper. I love this lurk. Yeah. Always trying to get ahead of any save. Donk goes into the cave and deletes them.
And they can find LXCB. And Ime is found in the end. A crucial round is won, with Spirit keeping 3 players alive, who all died from hunting Ime and not getting sight. Insane to see how Spirit won this round by just being fast and disrespectful.
Try to get them in at that buy save rhythm. Imma, 2 kills and the exit. Going to be a trying time if he's going to stay alive, and he can't take over Zontix again.
Spirit are up 5-0, and that is the best start to the grand final you can ask for, as well as they have started to build a bank with only 1 player that has less than 5 grand. But NaVi will still after this round be able to buy due to having the max loss bonus if they were to lose. NaVi are going 3 towards B and 2 in middle, and here NaVi has used 2 smokes to try to stop Spirit with the default bottom mid smoke, but now they added the door smoke as well, and this smoke is thrown like this. And it has some purpose to this play. First is that it stops any fast pushes from the Ts, like the Ts can still push it, but that requires some utility and might split them up, so the risk to push is much greater. As well as any lurkers will be stopped and can't play this angle towards ramp, while Spirit are set up with no players on B, and here are rather going 3 towards A and 2 in middle, as well as using these flashes over to help donk run out. And then a key part as well is this smoke from Spirit. This will be thrown since you expect a CT Molotov to land behind the smoke that the CT threw bottom mid. And here Ime is fully blinded and donk gets the entry.
Another mid hit, donk.
But Bit trades back right away. So what happened here? Well, Spirit did not smoke top mid, or what we call red room. This smoke is crucial since this splits up the default mid setup from NaVi like this. And without this, donk is an easy kill for Bit, and the game is back even. Or is it? Well, NaVi had focused B side and mid for this round. And now with Spirit making some press in the mid, it will force NaVi to have Bit in mid and not rotate. Spirit can move out to site and here walk into an open A site. Spirit uses some smokes to take site, but NaVi has a JL rotate over after Bit found the first kill. And here JL uses a nade on the CT smoke, and here he will find one kill and give NaVi a much needed man advantage.
One round to go, it works just as well until JL, love it, interrupts the smoke.
As well as Bit has gotten into donut fast and can use this Molotov to stop any plants from Spirit, winning NaVi even more time to rotate in. And by looking at the map, this looks grim for Spirit. They are being boxed in on site and needs to do something. Well, why if NaVi can help them? In a 4v3, why is Bit asking for a flash and then running out, only getting a 1-for-1 trade? Well, what is the issue with this? NaVi are all but Alexi B focusing A side, while Spirit are taking full mid control completely for free. This is crucial information for Spirit, since this tells you that NaVi can only be towards CT, and this is a miss from NaVi to leave mid open. And again, NaVi is too aggressive here, and Wonderful pushes another smoke and is found. And it's a nice flash and push, but why do you do this in a man advantage? And now it's a 2v2, and this puts NaVi on the back foot again, since all sites are divided into zones, and these are the one on Ancient. And by now, NaVi controls one of the zones, with some present in the other zone, while Spirit controls two of the zones, allowing them to know where NaVi is. While NaVi still needs to clear a main zone, and NaVi can't get anything, and Spirit takes another round.
Ooh, does he dive this? He's got the flash, he's gonna dive with the op onto the site. Countered by Shiro.
They were waiting for it.
Oh, he is that stable pillar they rely on.
We're doing something different for round 8 and 9, since NaVi here went for the same concept twice, but two completely different results. And I will show you what happened and why Spirit are so good, since they adapt so fast. So let's start with round 8. NaVi has used a lot of utility early with one goal, to not let Spirit push up to B site early and win mid control. And this has been achieved with some Molotovs and smoke towards outside of B, and then NaVi with the default bottom mid smoke as one mid. And here we can see Ime and Bit pushing Fortnite and finds Chopper, as well as Ime keeps pushing and finds one more kill. See, Spirit stopped watching for him, as well as the door player is smoked off and can't hold for the ramp push. And this allows Alexi B to push down ramp, and even though Spirit tries to nade the smoke for the upper indoor, it's not enough. And with the push down and very quickly, Spirits are down to only 2 players left and both low. So NaVi abuse Spirit's aggression with Chopper and how stuck a team like Spirit can get when you push them into an area and don't allow them to move, since there were 4 players towards B that round.
Usually that had more weight behind it. Chopper, ooh, tries to get cheeky. Add him to the list of the IGLs that'll take it over. Emat, okay. Big impact from him, softens up Zontix.
Now let's look at round 9 to see how Spirit adopted so fast. Well, first we need to understand what was the weakness for NaVi in this round. Well, it was B ramp and mid. So how is Spirit ready to abuse this? Well, they will first boost one player up who is found, but he gets crucial information. And that was the issue the last time. Spirit were not able to get any information. And here when Shiro dies, Magix is able to trade the player pushing down on the door smoke, as well as Alexi making a lot of noise is found and can only get one kill. And when it does settle, it's a 3v3. That always favors the T side, and an over-aggressive mid-push ruins the round for NaVi, where both players are found leaving Wonderful alone, who earlier were spotted on B long, and there's no need for him to rotate away from there, and Spirit takes the round.
And just when you think things could come to a pause, a slight crawl through smoke. Emat bitten, he's not done. 3 kills out of the young gun.
We are now seeing Spirit on the CT side, and here they are going for the default 1-2-2 setup, but not the same as we saw NaVi do. Here Spirit will use 2 smokes early, with 1 indoor and 1 bottom middle, and then having 1 player pushing middle to cubby and 1 staying top mid until he's smoked. Then on A, Spirit has put Shiro with the AWP, since on A it's a dream site for an AWPer to play, and why Shiro is perfect for the solo hole in this amazing off angle in Temple. And on B, Spirit has 2 players, but not towards cave, but ramp and long, where the long player will mainly hold cave, always trade and help the ramp player. A more robust hold than what we saw NaVi were doing, but giving away cave early is not ideal. But since NaVi smokes cave early, it doesn't really matter. Now we're going for 1 lurk outside of B, 2 in middle, where they will use some utility towards mid, as well as this smoke from spawn to deal with the Molotov from Spirit, bottom mid if they were to throw one. I'm walking out of the smoke to be killed, and I just have to ask why. Red room is not smoked, so you are walking into 2 angles, Spirit are almost 100% in all the time. And I can see why Ime did this, with JL and Fortnite about to peek out, but that is the issue, Ime walks out too soon, now that Spirit has no donut players. And here JL can't get an instant trade. JL gets 2 flashes from spawn, like this, good ones, but these should have been popped when Ime walked out of the smoke, and JL kills Zontix only to be traded by donk. As well as on A, Shiro is missing 2 crucial shots and has to fall back. But see how good this spot is. He had the shadow advantage and were able to still miss 2 shots and fall back without being shot at. and Bit trying to trade does not work out, and here Spirit are up 4 versus 2, and NaVi taking A side has to default on it, like I had to do with all of my credit card debts. Please help me. But why did they have to save her? Well, Bit with the bomb was the one who ran out for the trade. Unlucky.
Match, he was the one to save it. Shiro will be up to the plate again.
Not today, Ime. Not this time. JL, though, he catches them off. He comes out from lane. Ooh, Shiro, missed chance. Oh, missed headshot. Tougher on the second. Donk, though! Every time.
And here I want to point out just how bad NaVi played this. In mid, Alexi B were able to find the opening kill, but on its contact, Ime walks out of the smoke, like we can make a meme out of this, and is traded back. This creates a domino effect of Alexi B trying to trade back and can't, and just like that, NaVi is stuck and can't move after being smoked off in cave. In cave, Spirit goes for a set we saw Cloud9 loving to use in this video I made right there, and it's a good setup. It forces the T to take a fight towards 2 players who will be playing in this off angle and will always have the advantage. And the setup works perfect, with getting a 1-for-1 trade, as well as forcing Alexi B back, and this allows donk to kill him from behind. Since when Ime died in mid, NaVi lost all of the mid control they needed, and this allows donk to do dumb stuff like this. Like he's always holding W, and Spirit takes map 1 of the grand final.
Donk and Zontix are the reason they won that last round. They kicked it off, and now Alexi executes the player at the bottom of mid. Donk is between the two. Can he recover? He turns it up. He holds a little longer, which means Donk's in position, and he's got a back turns. Man advantage here for Spirit.
Hey, this is a banger, and hoping everyone is enjoying it. Why not subscribe and leave a like? Again, Spirit has a great lead of 2-0 going into this round, and a lead like this will tell you NaVi are full buying this round, while Spirit is going for the bonus round. Wait, what is a bonus round? Well, after winning pistol and the save round after, you get into round 3, where one team, the team that has 0 rounds, in our case NaVi, will have a full buy into this round, while the team that has the lead of 2 rounds, in our case Spirit, will use this round as a round to not full buy, but keep weapons from the last one and just play the round out and try to win. This creates a dynamic where if Spirit wins, they will be able to have a 4-0 start, while if NaVi wins, they will still have to fight versus a full buy next round. Spirit are going 2 players to B, using this smoke right here to not give away how many players are crossing to B, since on dust 2 that is crucial information. Since if a mid player only sees 1 crossing, you can be sure that the CTs will have 4 towards short or long, while this smoke takes all that away from the T player looking for this. And for that, it's worth wasting a smoke to be able to cross. And then Spirit are sending 3 players to A, with 1 pushing towards pit on a good spawn, Magix playing anti-flash, and then Shiro all the way back on A side helping with utility towards long and watching for short when he has to. NaVi are going for 1 lurker outside of B tunnels, and for the lurker on dust 2 you need to understand how crucial long is, since if NaVi would win long, the lurker only need to worry about 1 player being on B, since losing long will force 1 B player, if there are 2, to rotate. So keep that in mind. And then NaVi are going for the last 4 players towards top, middle and long, with Bit early on a good spawn, will be flashed out so he can peek long. Only issue here is how alone Bit is. Spirit uses a great Molotov towards long, and here Bit can find donk, but due to donk tagging him up and the Molotov burning, he is traded away. And usually I would say that a 4v4 favors the T side, and that is true, but not this time, since this kill has made it so Spirit has 1 long control, immobilizing long from NaVi, making their lurker less effective and more. After Magix wins long control, we can see Shiro leaves A side to rather push towards catwalk, since there's right now a big gap in middle where Spirit has no information about. And why Shiro is so fast as soon as he sees long is clear, go towards there to hold. On B, Spirit has an interesting setup of both players being on the left side on the site, sort of similar to cave setup, where if NaVi would peek, they have so much to clear, it makes it hard to predict where 2 players are. But Spirit are very much in the open, so some flashes might be the doom here, while Shiro is going for this off angle towards catwalk, and not on the default angle on the ledge, since most pros knows how to pre-fire that, as well as from here Shiro can abuse the shadow that will peek around the corner before the T player, and here Shiro can shoot him low, but not get the kill right away. And here Shiro asks for a flash, and that might look dumb since the player is basically on 1 HP, but it's done since Shiro has no clue who is around the corner. There could be 1 or 4 players. So on the flash, Shiro will find this kill and give Spirit the man advantage.
Spirit used this exact setup over on B. But Alexi has some other ideas. Tough spot with the shadow. Flash is perfect, and surely he gets hunted down. Yeah, they had every protocol in place.
In the meantime, NaVi are taking bottom mid, only opening in Spirit setup. I made a whole video about how to play those 2 on a Spirit game. And there I said, if you can win one of the crucial spots, it's fine to leave mid or catwalk open if you win one of the other, since the T has so much to clear and unsure where to go. And look at Spirit here, they have 1 cat and long, so now the B players can split up with 1 holding tunnels and 1 looking middle. And here Sontix is a little bit slow, but he's able to get a 1-for-1 trade as well as Chopper doing the same. And just like that, Jail is alone in a 1v2.
Zontic's tucked head behind boxes, but he was seen on the crossover, so the layers here work out for the trades. Chopper gives himself a smoke. Beautiful shot, but okay.
Spirit are going for the same setup like we saw in round 3, so I will not break it down. Well, now we are doing something new in this round. Here they started by going for the mid boost. And here we can see how crucial a smoke like this that Spirit uses for the cross is. If NaVi would not have failed the boost, since this boost would have spotted the cross if done correctly, and maybe even gotten a kill. Smoke like this always understood. And then NaVi have the trusted lurk in JL going B tunnels, and then NaVi from spawn uses this smoke. This is done to remove the corner here and force any CTs out in the open to fight for long control. And this is an interesting way of taking long, since in one way it's not too effective, since the CTs usually wants to push out and win pit, so the smoke won't really change much there, but at the same time it's a good way to ruin the setup. Since if we look back to round 3, look how Spirit set up for long control, donk pushing out, so this smoke would not have stopped him, but Magix played around the corner to swing after flashes. And that is what this smoke removes, Magic's ability to trade effectively, or help towards long. So versus a setup like this, it actually works. The smoke we have seen is more towards here to allow the T's to take this part of long, we will see it later. So I like to see NaVi trying something new here. But after all of this, NaVi can't push out and have to go back to middle after Spirit hits the Molotov for the doors. But again, Spirit has given up mid control completely, and now it's perfect to maybe mention why Spirit leaves mid open. Mid is crucial early and middle game, but not late game. Let me explain. If the T's gets middle, they still has to use a lot of utility to take sites. To go from mid to B, you need to smoke CT, maybe even use 2 smokes there, flash mid, and then take a crazy fight towards B site, while taking catwalk and A. Well, it's the same story of using a lot of utility and giving away where you're going. So Spirit feels confident enough to allow NaVi to take mid from them. JL finds a great spot in middle, in this corner right here. And the smoke from Spirit by accident creates an opening, and give NaVi a much needed opening kill. But now we can see the issue. NaVi has used a lot of utility to be able to even go catwalk towards site, and this alerts the A player who are now ready for this. Magix in pit, holding for the lurker in long, and donk in ramp. And from ramp, you can play some amazing angles and pick the fights. So it's not easy for the T's to deal with him. NaVi on the push uses this Molotov towards ramp to force donk up, but since NaVi are going 1 by 1 by 1, it allows donk to find 1 kill before he's traded, as well as Zontix finds the mid player, and this has crushed the setup from NaVi. Since now with no mid control they can't really move out and push anything but catwalk and long. And they don't have that safety net of JL holding bottom mid for anyone rotating over. And Magix, in this amazing off angle, finds 2 kills, and here Spirit takes the round.
Behind fire, he gives up half his health by crawling back, being careful so that he can take this duel on his terms. He fires back towards the off, but it's the player that drops down that gets him off guard. So 3v3 with Magix.
There's your long anchor.
Beautiful headshot at this distance. Bits up next.
Oh, he's ready for it.
Magix locks down long, but wonderful plants.
The setup is quite similar to the other rounds, but I want to focus on long and how NaVi now wants to take long fast and with passion. NaVi are using 3 players for the long take, where 2 with the best spawn will just run out towards long, and then Alexi B from car will use some flashes and more to help them get out. And here NaVi will use this iconic bouncing flash, since this bounces in a way that will not blind you as the T if you look towards the corner. Yeah. While any CTs will have to turn for this flash. And here, Ime is fast and can get behind the container, but Spirits seem to be ready for this, since they are not sending any players to really take long, and only Magix who get blinded and Molotovs long. I have no idea if he tried to hit inside the door, or if his goal was to hit behind the container. And here Ime is forced to use a smoke on the Molotov, and this ruins his position completely. While Spirit then smokes off long door, rendering Bit in no shape to help his teammate, and here's the issue, both long players are completely lost behind smokes and can't play off each other, without one pushing the smokes to clear long, quite risky. But on some flashes, Bit runs out and right into the smoke Ime sits in, and then he flashes and they take long control. Bottom long is 1 for NaVi, and NaVi have 1 flash left. Was all of those flashes worth it for this little of map control? Well, we have to wait and see. NaVi smokes in front of them, the smoke I talked about last round. This is done to make sure you can get a player into pit and just spread out on long, so not everyone will peek from this corner. And we can see NaVi use their last flashes on this. And Shiro, as fast as ever, just falls back, since he do not want to have to fight any players here towards long. But now that NaVi can just nade his smoke away and be 3 players ready to kill him, it's smart of him to move. NaVi Molotovs car and uses this great smoke from CT, and it seems like all of this utility and manpower to take bottom long was worth it. Well, almost, since when you don't have a flash to take site, well, Since NaVi only have long control, it's almost impossible to take site control. You need to worry about any site players, cat players, boosted players, and so much more. And it all starts with Shiro and Chopper, who on short are using this boost right here, and this allows Spirit to find the first kill and the opening kill in the round. And this opening is the way in for Spirit. NaVi shoots himself in the foot by nading the CT smoke and wonderful missing donk to allow Magic to kill him from the corner, and just like that is a 5v3, and donk finds Spit from that nade as well, so it's a 5v2 and NaVi just loses the round.
Total forfeiture of the bomb site. There is not one person in it, so there's definitely enough utility for a retake if you're Spirit. You've got 2 nades, the molly, the smoke, you'd be good to go. Shiro, oh, nice!
Wait, there's one
snaps over and then nearly gets caught. Molly forcing him back, they open up the smoke, it's a fight, it's a clash! It's Donk and Magix to get a couple more, and just when all that footing seemed good, bombs down, falls onto the shoulders of Alexi. No way he can do this again. Keeps it good.
Alexi's broad shoulders.
A second headshot in a 1v4 where the nade nearly takes him down again, and it's the pistol of Shiro to clear him. Spirit back on the board.
Spirit are now on the T side, so let's see how they play it. Spirit will still be using one player towards B as the lurker, and it's crucial for the lurker to hold for the early B tunnel push from middle, especially now that Spirit did not go for the boost in middle, and rather prioritized for Shiro to drop down here and trying to kill any players crushing, while Spirit are then sending the last 3 players towards top middle and not towards long, since they just did not have the spawn and readiness, even if that is a word, and has rather went to fight for top middle. While NaVi are 1 player B, 2 in middle and 2 towards long. Here both long players will play anti-flash, and I like this setup from NaVi. Seemed like they understand Spirit, since Spirit did not go for the boost and Shiro missed his kill. This has allowed Wonderful with the AWP to take lower tunnels control. And that shows you maybe why keeping an eye in middle early is the key to Windows 2. But when Shiro missed his shot, he had to fall back, otherwise he would have been peeked and killed. But Spirit has a counter. Here they are smoking bottom mid, and this cuts off Wonderful from bit, and he needs to make a decision. Does he stay and hold tunnel, now that he can be pushed from middle and catwalk, or does he go back? And to be fair, the correct play is to peek towards middle, since here Bit can help him with utility at least. And as we can see, Bit lines up this flash for middle and Wonderful turns around as soon as something is about to peek him. He then looks back, he then hears people stepping towards top middle, and he goes back to fight. Misses the shot, and this allows Somethings to kill him. Please pray for Wonderful. It can't be easy being this destroyed by timings.
And in between targets, oh, he's chased down. He's desperately trying to get the off back out, but
NaVi smokes top middle, but this is met with a bottom mid smoke from Spirit, and just like that, Spirit has won full on bottom mid control. And here Spirit plays it perfect. They know this smoke is not enough to keep NaVi away from mid, and a catwalk push is quite vulnerable to do. So here they just slow it down, and while they are slowing it down, while NaVi is boosting, anticipating that Spirit is taking catwalk. And here the wait pays off, as Spirit can find both players boosting, and just like that it's a 2v5. This round was won by Spirit abusing the concept of forcing IDs in Couner-Strike, where by taking mid and getting the man advantage, you force the CTs to try to win something back. And Spirit are very good at this, like we saw now. They just sat in mid with 4 players waiting for NaVi to do something, and it ended in them boosting and losing both players and losing the round.
and JL
NaVi won control of it.
stacked on top of
They
one
got
another
the NOA boost here.
with JL on the bottom of the totem pole. Blind Chopper slides, cuts them down to size.
Let's quickly show you how to rush B. And Spirit does this in a bad way, yet good way. Let me explain. When you want to push something, like B on Dust 2, you should still have some present towards mid or long, with 1 player at least, so you will not allow the CTs a lot of information. But look at the map, Spirit has sent all 5 players towards B, allowing Bit to take full long control, and you can see NaVi's rotating over. But when you have all 5 players outside of B, well, you only have to deal with 1, max 2 players, so taking site with 5 should be possible. And here Spirit wants to just abuse the man advantage. And as I said in the intro, run and gun is the playstyle of Spirit. Spirit uses a lot of flashes and utility, while JL to counter this uses a smoke. Yes, a smoke that will be ran down. Like a smoke in CS2 would maybe have stopped this, but in CS2, 1 nade and you have the perfect vision. As well as the flashes Spirit uses allows them to just walk out of sight, since they know most spot will be blinded. And another part, JL had to be fighting the smoke, and not just allow Spirit to run out of it. And you can see that this is the downfall in this round. JL smokes and falls back towards car, then he realizes he needs to actually fight for the smoke pop, since he is alone on B, and B is a tough site to retake. But by walking back he has missed the timing, and here he goes back, Spirit are ready for him, and he can't get any kills and is found. And Spirit has the man advantage and an open B site, with door being smoked and Somethings winning the window fight, and Spirit, with such a bad setup, allowed to win off the B rush. Well played.
It's a smoke and a frag in handy. Here's the util coming. He's got the A4. Can he mow them all down? Can he really hold them back?
Oh,
Not blind. And the only other thing on this B site was a desperate spam. It's Zontix and donk.
And now you can't even. You can't even.
It's odd to see, but NaVi have won the first 2 rounds on NUKE, something new to all the maps we have discussed so far. But this does not change much, the whole idea that we have talked about the same. So for Spirit, this will be a priority to win round 3. Spirit starts the game with 2 players outside, 1 on ramp and 2 on A site. Almost a very default setup, only thing Spirit is missing is a crucial garage player, but why don't they have that? Well, let's explain the setup from Spirit. Spirit has rather opted to use donk in main, where he will smoke here to make the outside take for NaVi harder, since smokes like this indicates a player has pushed to red, and then Spirit has Shiro outside but far back to hold for any players crossing. So it's a fine setup, but I would have liked a player towards garage. But I can see why Spirit is not doing it, since if there is a player on silo, then donk will hear him, and if there's a player in garage, well, he will just be smoked off and rendered useless, unless NaVi decides to push garage. When NaVi are going for 4 players early outside, these smokes for the cross, and then JL on the lurk, and it's not much to talk about when it comes to NaVi's setup. Since the goal is to cross, so after the smokes is landed, they now need to focus on crossing. And yes, lobby and ramp are left weaker, and that's good for Spirit, but if NaVi can cross, that does not matter too much. But a key part here is that Spirit's setup actually works perfect in this round, since this was what Spirit's setup was made for. NaVi uses some flashes, and look at donk. They have worked perfect, since these flashes are used to actually push out of the smoke and not down to secret. So Spirit starts to focusing that, a smoke push, and donk is not even spamming the cross smoke. And all 4 players from outside has been able to cross. And it's interesting to see, since a default in a round like this that we have seen from other top teams is to keep 1 outside to watch for any players going down secret, but here NaVi rather wants that 1 extra player to take B with them. But the issue now is how weak NaVi were everywhere else. So a call that NaVi is taking B has been fast to be called, and Zontix and Chopper are already down on site, with Chopper pushing down vents and Zontix getting ready to fight the window player, while Shiro stays towards ramp. So where does NaVi go wrong? Well, with Ime breaking the glass in control room. And then he moves back to get ready to throw a nade. And here is where Zontix is super fast to jump into the window and go for this kill. And Ime is found rather quick, as well as on this kill, Wonderful feels like he have to push for the trade, and Zontix finds him as well, and the bomb is dropped, a crucial miss by NaVi, since the rest of NaVi can't get the bomb back, with Bit and AlexiB going out on site. And JL is outside as the lurker can't do anything else.
God, this is going to be so desperate, such a tough job, but he dives it. He doesn't even cross, he dives in. Zontix straight up wants the fight, and another's to be had.
Oh, have at it then.
Bomb Ben even at his feet.
NaVi after losing round 3 were able to pick up and win the next round in a great hold in round 4. And it's starting to look dire for the economy situation of Spirit, since this loses you more than if they would have lost round 3. Due to the lose bonus, you will now receive is 2 less, since when you win your lose bonus go back by 1. So now with a win and loss, they are making less than if they got 2 losses. But I guess in the end to win a round were more crucial short term at least. Spirit starts a round with 2 outside, where we will see Zontix in the garage and donk towards main. And again they are using the smoke, since this allows Zontix to not be peeked by a bunch of angles outside, and they have magics going on A with the auto shotgun and Chopper towards heaven, and Shiro with the AWP solo holding ramp. Now we're going for 3 players outside in the strat, with 2 under silo and 1 on top of silo, while NaVi then have 2 players towards main using some utility before AlexiB will leave JL to lurk. Something to take note about here is the default of NaVi, is how easy they give away lobby control for JL to just lurk there. And that feels odd, since lobby pushes are common, all the control they render away only for a lurker to hold is not the best either. Now we need to talk about outside. Here we see that donk is still playing towards blue box, while Zontix is holding a garage for the main push. So this leaves a lot of open space outside for NaVi to use. And here donk spots Bit jumping down but cannot connect to him, and this forces donk to fall off and allows NaVi without any smokes to cross to outside. Is this bad or good for NaVi that they managed to cross? Well, it's both, since only 2 players were able to cross, so NaVi have now been split up, and that is something Spirit can abuse. While for NaVi, a split like this is not too bad if the B players are able to take more control towards B and even find some kills. Since NaVi is so split up, they need to get down, and going outside will not work, and they will have to go back to lobby either towards the door and down vent or ramp. But now since they have had no control towards lobby, well, it will make it much harder for them to push down, and there's much to clear. And as we can see, the lower players are positioned not to take site, but rather focusing on getting the rotation, with Wonderful taking vent and Ime taking control room. And in ramp, NaVi gets a 2-for-2 trade that favors the CT. Look how split up NaVi are right now. And the bomb has been dropped, and Spirit can clean the round up.
Draw rotation down. I mean, look how blind Spirit are at the moment. This is so uncomfortable, but the Saint hit can still come to them.
Can Shiro hold it? This shot first, keeps his head down. They're coming at him as his teammates rotate into no avail. Donk inside the fire. Commitment is key.
He's sitting on the bomb. Shiro's sitting on the bomb.
Look at this lurk up from lower. Emat arrives and Chopper able to best him. Shiro, awkward spot. Oh, that's a quick scope into Alexi. Wonderful not working with the cannon and not working with much time and no teammates to support him, so it's gonna have to be massive. He turns over to Shiro.
It's been some interesting setup. Like in this round, Spirit are going for only donk outside, playing super passive, 2 in ramp with Shiro down here and Sontix in this off angle, and then 2 on A. Well, now we're going for 2 players outside and 3 towards lobby. It's been interesting to see how passive Spirit plays outside, since it's usually where you want the first kill to happen as a CT, since the CT is the first to watch for silo and any outside swings. But the downside of being outside is all the angles 1 or sometimes 2 players have to hold. NaVi goes for the outside smokes to allow both outside players to cross, but it's just interesting to see that on this play, protocol from Spirit is to have donk walk into A main, just to hide from flashes and hold for any main peaks. NaVi then uses these 2 smokes to cross. The reason is that these are closer, so you can walk from red to secret. On the other smokes, NaVi throws. Spirit would have been able from heaven with a rifle or AWP to hold them crossing if they cross from red. But on all of this, Shiro pushes down to secret to hold for the cross. And this is why donk plays so passive, since his goal is to make sure NaVi can't go from outside to A main, and then uses Spirit to hold secret in case NaVi crosses. And then Sontix used this Molotov to be able to reposition in ramp. NaVi gets ready to take A. Wait, what? They've used so much utility towards outside, just to not take it? Well, that is the issue when you can't find an opening. And now with almost no smokes, well, it's hard. And on the execute, we can learn from everyone. First is Chopper, who while burning is still smoking off the door and then taking first contact. JL has a great opening, a great patting by him, but Magix forces Spirit back into this round with an amazing off angle from Raptors with an insane spray transfer. And when using the silencer, it's hard to hear where you're shooting from for the T's, and it's probably how he was allowed to get 2 kills here. And on all of this chaos, donk finds 2 kills and it's only email left in a 1v2.
Yikes. That's a lot of damage. And he gets overwhelmed by JL, who doesn't get a second magic from the heavens. Donk slides out from main.
Yeah, right.
And he gets himself a double, so solid stuff from the defenders. Went to Chopper all week long.
Yes, for sure.
Never seen him get so loud.
This spray transfer, oh!
This is a key round from NaVi. They have no money, so losing this would give Spirit round 11 or even 12 in match point. So for NaVi, it's a crucial one to win, where Spirit are more chill. They have the economy to lose this round and full buy next. So why not try what they're the best at? Running out and killing. And here they will do the default outside smokes but send all 5 players towards lobby, while NaVi are set up with 2 players outside in a passive setup, 2 on A and 1 in ramp. So pushing A is actually the best play, since the outside smoke forces NaVi to have at least 1 player holding outside, making A much weaker. A protocol is what you do when X happens, and not X like Twitter, but X as a situation. And look how Spirit has abused this from NaVi. On these smokes, since NaVi only have 1 in ramp, they are forced to send 1 A player down vents to go secret and hold. This will then leave 1 player alone on A, having to defend. That will never work. And JL is in such an open angle, so he can't hide and make the fights 1v1. And NaVi have understood on the player going vent to help on A, with Alexi B going into main and wonderful up heaven. But by now it's too late. And here JL makes so much noise going up on top of hot, and is found. And with some good flashes, Wonderful can't trade, and Spirit has sight. Emet tries a play and again pushes a smoke for no reason and is found. Like this is now just a pattern for Emet, and NaVi are forced to save.
Oh, JL running.
Got the weapons for it, but it's fast timing. He's not ready, and he's blind. They just bombard him. As Wonderful tries to take to heaven, he also keeps his head down, desperate in the vent. Oh! Back turn to him. Couldn't have gone better here for Spirit.
And I will be honest, NaVi are our major champions. But how did they play this final so bad? Like, I like NaVi, I'm a big fan of Bit, he was in my first popular video ever on this channel, but NaVi played it not like some major champions. Well, only on Mirage, but the holiday is now in full activation for the tier 1 players. So here we will see a lot of teams having changes, and time to improve. I'm exhausted after making this video, and this is my last video for the summer. I will be going on a month-long holiday to Asia, but I have some videos ready for you, so don't worry. Thanks for watching, and here are 2 videos YouTube told me you would like. Bye!